Is there any chance in the playoffs the Seahawks beat the Lions, 49ers, or Eagles? Can they beat any of those teams?
I'd
They
say
already beat the Lions.
the thing is, it's like I think again though that was one of those. It's just a weird day, and could they? Yeah, and we know any given Sunday, but I think in a playoff environment with this young defense, I think the Seahawks are one of those teams that's kind of leaning towards more future success. Like they're not. It's going to be like I think they're still building to that peak level, and you know, it wasn't the best game from Geno this game. If any of these two interceptions, that drive was turned into a touchdown, this game is a completely different scenario. Obviously it's picking, you're taking scenarios and making them better. You can't always do that. All I'm saying is my thing right now is I don't know. The Seahawks are kind of a weird team where it's like I definitely want to see more from Geno again. I want to like last year's more consistent Geno. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't but see. Like, I don't think that's all him. I think the O line has been a little messed up, and I honestly give them props for hanging in this game. I think Cincinnati is the better team. Even if I don't think. I think also though, if Geno doesn't throw those two interceptions, like they probably win this game. And I think the conversation around the Bengals is very different because the Bengals were at a point where it's like this game was kind of must win, and if they didn't beat like a team that's really not like a top contender in the NFC, it's kind of like, okay, well, what are the Bengals doing? Like the O line has been kind of iffy, and they need to pick it up. The running game's kind of not existent. Joe Burrow played good enough to win, but not great. Like the Bengals just have like weird vibes around them. I don't really know, but kind of like go back to the Seahawks. I mean, like this game was they led in time of possession, they led in yards, they led in first downs, but they were 1-5 in the red zone. So my thing is like 1-5, like kick two field goals and you win this game.
So no, and it's like, I'm kind of like I'm thinking like while you after you said it, like what's going on with the Bengals? I think some that people haven't been discussing enough, and we were kind of touching on it early on the year, but I'll go back to it now. Is maybe there a little bit of like disconnect because of the whole situation with T. Higgins? And again, this is just me speculating. I could be so fucking wrong right now, and it had nothing to do with the situation. But maybe, T's over there, like, I know I need to get paid. He's not playing as well. Maybe they're not as friendly. It's kind of like situation, everybody's a little distant. Maybe, just maybe, is that part of the problem?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I mean,
I,
it could be. I could, and could it also have literally no bearing on the team? Absolutely. I'm just speculating. All I'm saying is, yeah, the offense is not moving how it used to move, as we've seen. If you're a Bengals fan, you'll want to be able to see the consistency where you're like, oh yeah, there's our team that takes shots every single week. There's T and Jamar in tangent lighting up the defense. You haven't really seen that this year.
and another thing too that I want to say is like obviously the Bengals start slow, but something almost more concerning to me is like I can see like with injuries with T Higgins, like there's reasons the Bengals are not performing. Like the Seahawks, don't they kind of feel like they're the same team they were last year? Like they improved, but like not enough to really like move the needle a ton.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that's part no, and that's first of all, yes, that's exactly where they're at. And I would say, you know, again, with in terms of like their future, you know, they kind of start feeling like a team where we have to ask, like, okay, well, what exactly is the direction? Because again, in an ideal world, I could tell you what the direction is. It's like, well, we're gonna have, the young QB is gonna step in at just the right time on the young contract, and he's gonna be hitting with the defenders that just got paid, and then we'll be able to go win a bowl, and it's all gonna click. But we know, bro, in the NFL, it does not seem to always go that way. And it doesn't seem like that's something you can bank on that you're going to for sure have the right guy and you're going to be able to pay all the right guys. They're going to stay healthy at just the right time. So I guess that's what I'm going to ask you now, bro. It's kind of like, where do you think where is like the end goal for the Seahawks here at this point, right?
So honestly, in my opinion, I think the biggest issue with the Seahawks is their trenches and the quarterback. So I don't think Geno Smith is bad, but I think if they seriously can upgrade like the interior of the O line, Because if those tackles can bounce back and be top half, I think they're okay. I think the issue is really the interior. I don't think, I mean, like, if you look at skill positions on both sides, it's really not a problem. It really comes down to the trenches. I think they have to upgrade the interior of the offensive line. They got to upgrade the D line. I like their running backs. I like their receivers. I like their corners. I like their safeties. Like, it's just like what we talk about all the time. Like, you have to invest in the trenches or else you're not going to win many games. And I think that is honestly where they need to focus it. I think Devin Witherspoon. I mean, like Kobe Bryant, Tariq Woolen, like they have good corners. So just upgrade the trenches. I think they'll be fine, but I still think they're maybe a year or two away. And I think maybe the way they built this team is knowing that maybe once they're able to build the trenches, they can get a rookie in there and they already have all the other weapons set up.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, yeah, that is for sure the best case scenario. It's just, it's going to be something we definitely gonna, we're gonna have to monitor it over the next few years because this is either a really good recipe or this was a complete whiff and miss. But we're definitely gonna have to keep an eye on this one
Yep.
because again, like you said, it's like they're a bad team and it's not like Gino's a bad quarterback. Let me be clear, I'm not even hating at all. I'm just being objective in the sense of this probably at the moment is not going to be enough to go all the way. And if this is the peak, well, it's going to be a failed experiment. That's all there is to it.